to another edition of The Word on Woodward. I'm Daniela Bruce alongside Art Regner, and joining us today, Tigers pitcher Andrew Chafin. Andrew, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today, all the way from San Francisco right now. The Tigers are in San Francisco on their West Coast swing. And let me tell you, Art and I were preparing for this interview. We have so much that we want to talk to you about, and a lot of it doesn't relate to baseball, so I really hope you're prepared today.
Perfect. That's the kind of interviews I like. Just off the field fun stuff.
Perfect. All right. Well, I'm going to start with this because you're wearing the t-shirt that I absolutely love, the failed starter t-shirt. And from what I've heard, you've actually given that to the other relievers on your team. And I just want to know the story behind the shirt, because obviously we all get it. We all understand what's going on there. But what made you want to make that into a t-shirt?
Well, it all started last year in Chicago. We were sitting there in spring training talking about getting, just shirts for the bullpen guys or whatever. And then somebody mentioned, oh, we're all just a bunch of failed starters. I'm like, oh, failed starter. That's like the perfect thing for it. And so we just took it and ran with it, and here we are now.
How did the Tiger bullpen react when you decided to pass these T-shirts out to them? Were they offense, or did they, in good-natured humor, just laugh it off?
Well, they've been giving me because I hadn't given them shirts sooner in the season. And so I was finally able to get some and just handed them out, and some of the guys wore them, some didn't, and it is what it is there.
Well, if I may ask a quick follow-up, in your career, you've only started 3 games. It seemed that you were relatively moved to the bullpen quickly in your career. Were you surprised by that? Did you see that coming, and did you take that personally?
Well, what had happened in 14, I made my 3 starts because I'd been a starter my whole minor league career. And then in 15, I was like the number 6 starter out of camp. And they're like, we want you in the big leagues, but it's going to have to be in the bullpen. I mean, you could either be in the minor leagues as a starter and the big leagues as a reliever. And I'm like, I want to be in the show, all right? So put me in the bullpen. And then I feel like I pitched well enough to get stuck there. And it's worked out great ever since.
And one thing that I read about you and that you've admitted to is that you don't really use analytics all that much. And that's a huge thing that's growing in the sport of baseball. So how do you get better, and how do you look at your pitches? Like, how do you look at an outing when some of your teammates might look at it more analytically, or Chris Fetter might look at it more analytically?
I mean, for me, it's one of those things. I'm at the point in my career now, I just go out there and trust my gut. I've thrown enough pitches, seen enough swings and everything that, I go into the at-bat with like the analytical numbers of like what I should throw first kind of thing. And then I pretty much base the rest of the at-bat on the swings I see that particular at-bat, and then just adjust accordingly in that regard and go out there and just pitch.
We've heard through the grapevine that you don't have a technical home here in Detroit, that you are living in an RV with your family right now. And it's actually a really smart reason to be living in an RV, but that's got to be an interesting lifestyle, being a professional baseball player, living in an RV with your wife and 2 kids, correct?
Yeah. Well, it's not your average RV. It's rather large. And this particular model has like little bunk beds on one of the slide outs. Our girls are small enough to sleep on those still, and we all pretty much go to bed at the same time and get up at the same time because I don't really have a choice. But yeah, no, it works out great. And honestly, I think it's better than being in a house somewhere because, we go out on bike rides every morning around the campground. They got playgrounds, they got a pool, sandbox, all that stuff for them to be able to actually go do things, as opposed to, being stuck in an apartment in a city. And, I guess being from the country, we're real big on being outside and not stuck inside 4 walls. So for us, it works out great.
Now, are you sticking to one campground, or are you going to, move around, or like if, you go through a bad stretch, are you saying, hey, we're packing up, this campground's bad luck, we're moving to the, the other side of town here?
No, we're pretty much going to stick where we are. It's got really nice accommodations for the girls, and it's in a good location. Without saying much more about where I'm at, we like it there, and we're going to stay.
Have you ever been shown how much you look like Todd Jones, former Tigers closer?
I've heard it a few times this season.
Okay.
Yep.
Here. Wait.
Okay, I see it.
It's the mustache.
Yep.
I mean, Andrew's hair is way better.
but I had to make sure you've seen it. And the person that tweeted this out was actually Abby Jones, who is his daughter. And her tweet was, "The fact that Andrew Chafin is not my brother nor even related." You guys look identical. That is so funny.
That's funny. That's awesome.
I actually have a question too, non-baseball related. I don't know if it was on Instagram or Twitter or something, but you posted, I believe it was your wife, wanted to straighten your hair.
So Shelby thought it'd be fun to straighten my hair and see what it looks like. I haven't seen it yet, so I guess you guys get to see my reaction. No, can't. Shut it up. I look like Jesus.
But how did that come about? Because, during Holy Week, I don't know how religious you are, but, you could probably get some gigs being a Jesus lookalike.
Oh, I don't want to go impersonating him. I'll stay out of that one. But yeah, no, this off season, my wife was just a couple different times. I want to straighten your hair, see what it looks like. I'm like, okay, fine. Finally gave into it and I'd brush it all out, and then she straightened it. And I didn't like it. My daughter Adeline was the one with the really curly hair. She's like, "I don't like your hair like that, Daddy. I like your crazy hair." And so it's stayed curly ever since.
Okay, so how often do you have to cut it now? Have you cut it since you started growing it out?
Nope. I have no plans to cut it. I don't know who I could find that would know how to cut this kind of hair without screwing it up. But then my wife was like, "I don't think they could screw it up because it's messy enough. It'd be hard to tell." Like, I
Right, you
don't
just
know.
have to. You could probably do it yourself, honestly, if you needed to, if it was getting that out of control.
Well,
I don't know.
I
I'll
think
just
it
let
looks
it go.
great.
I mean, oh, well, thank you.
Why is farming in your blood, and why do you like to work the land, so to speak, so much?
I've always loved being outside. I by no means grew up on a farm. My grandparents both had a little bit larger properties than us, and did that kind of stuff. But I just kind of always knew I wanted to get a farm or at least a whole bunch of land to be able to go out and play on. And so worked out a few years ago. We were able to purchase a farm about 10 minutes from where my wife grew up. So we bought that, and then say last year we were able to add another 75 acres or so, and yeah, just slowly adding to it and getting ready to build our last house this fall. It's gonna be more like a compound. And as far as that logo goes for the farm, let's see if I can get it pulled up quick enough not to ruin this interview. Here's the farm logo. I don't know if you can tell exactly where I ripped it off from.
It's a tractor with a cow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is.
I knew
really
I should have worn more than that for this interview.
Yeah, you should have.
Yeah, well, then we wouldn't see your flowing curly locks, though. So it was a good trade.
Around and went back here.
Oh, there you go. Because you were a former starter, you have a pretty good arsenal of pitches, and your innings pitched and strikeout ratio is very good. You're averaging more, even in your entire career, at least one strikeout an inning, so to speak. And actually, it's over that. I think you've 379 career strikeouts in 362.2 innings pitched. But what I'm curious about is do you like the bullpen role? Do you embrace that, or would you like to maybe go up to Fetter or AJ, or if you see Al Avila or Chris Illich and say, "Hey, can I start? Can you just put me in there?" Do you have aspirations of being a starter?
I don't think my body could keep up with being a starter anymore. I've figured out how to be very efficient as a reliever, and it'd be interesting to see what happens if I try to transition to a starter. But that's not something that can happen overnight, even if I wanted it to. It takes take a month to get built up long enough to be able to be a starter and go out and pitch that long in a game. I'm good with the bullpen. I'll just stay there.
Okay, certainly the Tigers have been hurt with the injury bug, and especially the pitching. But you fellas have some sort of resolve. Pitching has been the least of the Tigers' worries, I think, all season long. Where does that come from? Is that just a team mindset? Did you guys band together and say, "Listen, we are certainly the last line of defense here"? I mean, we have to be almost superhuman at times.
I mean, the way I look at it, it's obviously one big team effort, and then any days when one portion of the team isn't able to, play as well as they would hope, the other sides just know it's like it's on us now. We got you. We'll do everything we can on our side to try to make things work. And we haven't really, come together and be like, oh, we got to step up because, say the hitting isn't as good on some days or whatever. It's something that doesn't need to be said. It's just we go out there and we play the game as a team, and everybody's got everybody's back.
Thank you so much for taking the time to join us. I know we went off on like 100 different rants and wanted to learn all about you. So we appreciate you being a good sport about it and chatting with us.
Oh yeah, anytime. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Yeah, really
And of
appreciate
course,
it. Your hair is outstanding, by the way.
we're going to have a competition next time. I'm going to just let it ride next time, and we're going
Yeah.
to see how it goes.
Here, hold on. I'm gonna show you something funny real quick since you
Okay.
I don't wash it all the time because I like the natural like grease in the hair or whatever. I think it's
I
more
know.
healthy.
I'm right there
And-
with you.
Yeah, you shouldn't wash it every day, really.
No, it's like once a month, honestly. I got a
Okay, well,
picture
maybe,
of
okay, well, maybe you should do that a little bit more than once a month, but that's a personal choice.
Yeah, to each his own. But I conditioned it and did all that, and I brushed it out. So if you can top this,
Oh my
It's
god!
you know what? Here, we'll just show you. This is how it's gonna go. We'll just show you right now because I've kind of got the same thing going on. I just washed it. Hold on.
I love that, man.
I got the hair tie stuck.
I hate it when that happens.
Yours
That's
is
a whole
probably
lot.
a little better, but like it's. Yeah. Oh, a bobby
Oh,
pin.
you
There we
look
go.
like that. That's a
This
good
is
look right
crazy.
See,
We
I
look like
told,
kids or something.
I've been
Like
telling
we
her
could
for
have
years
put
she
face
should
paint
wear
on.
her hair that way.
Yeah, just wake up, run your hands through it, give it a little shake, and wherever it hangs, it hangs.
You know, I got to tell you
Okay.
something. And this, Andrew, Oscar Gamble, I thought had like the best, I don't know, fro curly hair in baseball history. He played for the Indians. But I have to say that hair and the photo you showed us, Oscar had nothing on you, my friend. That
Yeah,
is
your hair
awesome.
looks great. Like, how does yours
Absolutely
even look so good like this? Mine looks crazy. Yours is like still all
Yours is
curly.
wavy compared to mine. I mean, it's also a rat's nest, but like it's kind of curly in there. There's curls in there somewhere, I swear.
Okay,
All
all right, that sounds good.
Well, thank you again. We appreciate it. Your hair's great. That was a great interview.
Really enjoyed it. You're a lot of fun, and best of luck with the Tigers and throughout your baseball career. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. You have a good one now. Bye.
And of course, a big thank you to all of you for tuning in to another edition of The Word on Woodward. We'll see you next time.